I'm Lou Martone, and this is my wife,
Claudine Martone.
Claudine Martone. We've been married 52 years.
53.
Oh, I'm sorry. And we were with Redeemer the second meeting, because we was on vacation after the first meeting. And so we were meeting at the doctor's office. But the reason why we started the new church and we ended up at Redeemer is because we were searching for a religion that had the gospel. I felt like there was something missing at our previous church we were attending for 55 years. And I guess the Spirit spoke to my heart. I just wanted to hear the gospel. I wanted to hear the gospel. So we went to Seven Rivers for 4 or 5 years. And then when I asked to start a new church on this side of town, which is Redeemer, we went because it was closer too, and I thought I could get more involved without having to drive 17 miles. I could just drive 4 or 5 and be there, be a little bit easier on me. And so I told my wife, we went to Seven Rivers, I said, I like what I'm hearing. I said, I want to join this church. And then when I asked for volunteers, I said, that sounds good to me. But we met at the doctor's office, and then we met at a small building by where the Walmart used to be. And I got involved with the praise team there. And of course, that's one of the reasons that I love going to church, because of the praise team, but also, like I say, for the gospel, and also for the family atmosphere that we have at the church, the friendly atmosphere. They make you feel welcome. And of course, it's a small church, and we like a small church, but it's not going to stay small, I'm sure.
And James that got us introduced to Seven Rivers to begin with. That's the reason why we even changed religions, was because we hadn't been going to church for a while. And so Robin said, but don't worry, I will get him to church. And I said, I don't care, I'm just glad that he's in church. And we've never been back. We went to Seven Rivers, and because of James and Robin, we went to Seven Rivers Presbyterian Church. So they were there for a long time, and then now they're over here at Seven Rivers with us. So
over here at Redeemer.
Yeah, Redeemer, yeah.
It's a family affair.
When Chris and Dawn joined the church right as soon as we did, because when Chris and Dawn were going together, and were engaged, and so Dawn was looking for a church, and we brought her over to Seven Rivers because at that time that's where we were going. And so I wanted her to hear Ray Cortez. I thought because he's an excellent speaker, and he was a good pastor. And so that night, Ryan Jeffers was preaching, and I apologized to her because she wasn't able to hear Ray Cortez, and she says, "Oh, I love this. I love Ryan Jeffers." And she decided that night that's exactly. I said, I believe that he's going to be the pastor at the new church that we're trying to get planted. And so she said, "Oh, that would be great." And the next thing you know, I don't know how much longer it was after that, because they got married June 26th. Oh God, they've been married now.
You married them.
They've been married 9 years, and they were married in our backyard, and Ryan was the one that performed the ceremony. So couldn't do any better than that. And when we first started at the box, it was we used to call it the box, because it was just a small little church, and it was just one room practically. So we had the nursery was in the back with a glass where you could see the kids, but you could hear the kids too. So sometimes the kids would get louder than what was going on at church. So my nephew came up to visit with his twin sons, and they were playing in the nursery with the kids. They were a little bit older than the children that were in the nursery, and they ended up breaking the glass. So that was one of the incidents. But other than that, we had good experiences at the bar.
Came and talked to you and Dan. I said, I play a little bit of guitar, and you says, come and try out. Thursday night we practiced, and then I came and tried out Thursday night. You said, can you play Sunday? And I'm saying, well, that was fast. I guess you like what you heard, but I love the praise team, and I enjoy the music so much. I think we're second to none.
But at that time, Ryan was the one that was in charge of picking out the music, making the disc, because Louie had to have a copy of the music and hear that on the disc, And I would go by there and I had to call Ryan maybe 2 or 3 times and say, okay, Ryan, I'm going to be by there today. Louie wants his music because he's got to practice. And Ryan would make sure that he got that disc done, and I would come by and pick up the music so that Louie could, because I didn't have a computer that did all that fancy stuff. So, and it's worked. And now of course Dan Gandy and Angela Vick are in charge of the music, and they make sure that Louie gets the music so that he can, because Louie drove Ryan crazy. I know he did. He never admitted it, but I know he did. I'm still happy that we've got Ryan as our pastor. And we watched his little girls and Jennifer. We watched everybody grow up.
We watched them grow.
And Ellie walk. So, yeah, we went to the first mission trip in Chattanooga. And at that time, Tyler got real sick. And I told Ryan, I'm going to go home. Ryan really counts on me. But I told him, I said, I'm going to go home. If doesn't find the care that I'm thinking that he should be getting. But he did. And Ryan said, you have to do what you got to do. You know, and give me real good counseling, though. And here we are. Here we are. And Tyler's 7. So, wow. Yeah, and Luke is 6.
Well, I hope we didn't bore everybody. but
I was gonna let Louie do the talking. I did most of the talking.